OpenAI has finally released their new flagship chatbot model called GPT-5. And this was the most underwhelming bad presentation I have ever seen in my life. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, compared ChatGPT-5 to the Manhattan Project, you know, the atomic bomb. And I knew Sam Altman was just selling the product. Okay, he was just exaggerating, but Jesus Christ, this model is not even really an improvement, I'm gonna be honest. So first things first, the live stream demo. This demo was really hard to watch. It was so boring, okay? It felt like it was written by ChatGPT. So if it was, they didn't do a good job. And then in some of the graphs comparing ChatGPT-5 to older versions of ChatGPT, the graphs look like this. Notice how it doesn't make any sense. This is a pretty common tactic with companies where they make the graphs look really weird to make it look like the new product is like way better. That's a pretty common thing they do. But when you present a demo on AI like this, I can't help but think that ChatGPT is the one who made that graph. And in this presentation, Sam Altman also claims it's like having multiple PhD experts in your pocket. And I just don't think I believe that because an expert wouldn't have done this. They just wouldn't have. And it's also a little weird they're comparing these models and not better models. I think these models are older, if I'm not mistaken. And also, according to this graph, 4.0 is worse than 0.3, and ChatGPT-5 is barely better than 0.3. This graph makes no sense. They also claim in the demo that it hallucinates a lot less, which I just don't necessarily believe. Like, people will say all the time that AIs don't hallucinate anymore, and I just think they don't realize it's wrong. I think that's all it is. And ChatGPT is not a truth-seeking machine. It doesn't know right from wrong. I highly doubt it hallucinates significantly less. I really just don't believe that. And there was some cool things in the live demo. Like, a guy demonstrated you can use ChatGPT to learn a language, which I think is a pretty good reason to use ChatGPT. From what I've heard, it's actually pretty good about that, but I wouldn't know for sure. Someone who is bilingual could probably tell you if it's good or not. But overall, ChatGPT-5 seems like a really lackluster upgrade, if it is even an upgrade. It's really hard to tell because you can't compare them because OpenAI removed all the other previous models from their website for some reason. I think it's a pretty weird move to release a new model and then immediately get rid of all the previous models without saying anything about getting rid of them. Like, no one knew they were going to do that. And I just can't help but think that ChatGPT-5 kind of sucks if they removed all the previous models. Like, you can't even compare if it's better or not. It's ridiculous. But this big release of ChatGPT-5 kind of just proves that AI has hit a massive wall, and no one wants to admit that it's hit a massive wall because there's billions and trillions of dollars on the line if it hits a wall. Sam Altman hyped this AI so much it should be significantly better. I understand it was going to be nowhere near Manhattan Project levels. That was obviously just a bold-faced lie. But if you're comparing it to the Manhattan Project, it better be a substantial increase from ChatGPT-4, and it's arguably worse. So yeah, I think AI has hit a wall, and I think we should expect it to slow down pretty substantially unless a different company comes in and makes it significantly better, because all OpenAI did with that presentation was show they're not going to be the ones to make the most advanced AI. They're just not going to be it. They've been working on ChatGPT-5 for a good minute now, and they've been hyping it up forever, and they released it, and it's kind of bad. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, like and subscribe for new, and click the answer now, check out all my content, and have a good one.